Hello everybody and welcome back to Letton Farm. So I am still sleeping at this house. The main reason for that is just because I haven't transferred everything from inside there to the new farmhouse. But I think probably in the next few days I will be moving across and living permanently in the other farmhouse. It is bigger and I think it's newer as well. It does seem to be better decorated inside, so it would be nice to transfer over. But I do obviously still need to come over here to feed the sheep and also give them water. Now the reason why the tractor is here, two different reasons. One is I obviously came home in it, but also I need to take the chain over to the other farm. Yes, we have the tow chain which is currently parked next to the planter, which I will be selling. So I don't know when I'm going to sell it, but at some point in the relatively near future it is going to be sold. I was actually hoping to get some harvesting done today, but the crops aren't ready yet. They're a bit behind because we've had some wet weather and the forecast today isn't great either. Right, so I just need to put it through the pin. That should be good enough. And yeah, the planter is just here. It's a very old planter. I just need to get some money back really. That's the most important thing. So yeah, my plan for today is, well, if the weather's going to hold off, my plan is to do a bit of silage, or at least start the silage, by mowing some grass. Now the grass which I would like to mow is actually a different field, one I've never mowed before. I never even mowed it for Peter Wood, so it is going to be totally new to me. I do need to mow it fairly slowly just because I don't know if there's any obstacles in the grass. There shouldn't be because it is just a grass field, but since I have no recollection of it ever being cut in the time I've been here, I think I will just take it easy just in case there is something lurking within the grass. So yeah, just slow and steady, that way we don't break anything. I think I will just store the chain near to the workshop, just over here. I have the mower as well. So yeah, it's quite a difficult thing to tow actually, because it does like to try and get underneath the wheels. But if I can just put it in here, then that would be a good place to store it. Hopefully we never require it, but if we do, then it is just here for an emergency. Okay, right. So once again, we'll drop it off. And it should be able to stay there for some time. Okay, so the mower. I think I will use the mower on the Massey Ferguson tractor. I've always said that that tractor is better for the job. It is actually higher horsepower than this tractor anyway, which always seems weird. It just always feels like this tractor should be higher horsepower, but in fact it isn't. It is about 20 horsepower less than the 390T. As for this field here, I actually think it's going to be planted fairly soon. As soon as I have the money, I will plant it. So here is the mower. I'm very pleased that we have a good mower as well, because it just gets the job done really fast. I don't know if I'm going to cut two fields. I might cut two fields, because the field which I am actually going to cut first of all isn't very large, and I do have, I think, two fields which I've never cut, and it would be good to have them both cut for the first time. Okay, so put the PTO shaft on. And we'll have a nice drive over to the field. The way I'm going to go is through the grounds of the auction just over there. Well, what used to be the auction. And that leads us through the other yard, which we do own. And then we can access the field by driving through there. Okay, so yeah, I just need to be really careful with this mower because it is quite wide. Obviously, I don't want to be clipping the cars. It does really stick out. I think if I stay over to the left hand side it should be fine then. It shouldn't stick out to the right. Yeah, that's just right. Oh, for goodness sake. Oh, what is this? Somebody's fly tipped in my entrance. I can't believe it. Oh, I can't stand people who do that. Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. Well, how am I going to get through here now? I bet I can't lift these. Oh. Just about manageable, but oh, no, I can't move that. It's far too heavy. Sorry, cars, I wasn't expecting this to happen. Right when I've got it to let as well. What an absolute tip. Well, in that case, change of plan. I can't go through there. It's absolutely disgraceful. It really is just the lowest thing that you can do in the countryside. Fly tip. It's just disgusting. Now I've got to pay for having that cleared up. I've got to get that cleared up at my expense, That's one way of putting me in a bad mood. Right, well the field which I was going to cut was this one just here behind the hedge. This one here. Luckily, there is another way into the yard. Some of those drums were metal. You could just go and scrap them and get money for it. I guess they've got some kind of probably waste oil in them or something. They're certainly heavy enough. Unbelievable. Okay, well here we are. This is the field. And that's not the entrance. Although I could open that up in the future. Because it does seem to be a fairly good route. Since the wall has disintegrated, instead of rebuilding it, I could turn that into an entrance. As we won't be putting any sheep or anything in here, so yeah, it's a good way to go. So we do have a gate just here. Let's just get that opened up. And then I can drive through the yard. I would have just come around here, but no, obviously I can't do that. It's also quite narrow down here. Another reason for me not really wanting to drive this way. Let's stay over to the left though, basically in the bushes. There shouldn't be an issue with the clearance. I've got an old muck spreader, which is actually ready for the scrap as well. I do need to do a scrap run. I need to do a scrap run. Clearly I now have some oil drums to dispose of. Hopefully some of them are empty. Actually I've got some oil drums kicking around this yard too, so I could get some money for them. Okay, so yeah, this is it. It does seem to be a nice field. It's not a very big field, but it's a good looking field. Perfect for doing a bit of silage. So it's going to be the same principle as always. If I just go around the headland a few times, then I should then be able to go up and down the field. Yeah, that fence is kind of an obstruction. I could at some point pull that out and expand this field into that field. Could be quite a good thing to do. But yeah, we do have an island of trees as well. It would be a shame to pull it out, but it is obviously taking up a fair chunk of the field. So I don't know, I'll just cut it to begin with, see how difficult it is. Hopefully it's not too difficult at all. And if it is easy to manage, then it can stay. But if it's a complete nightmare, then the trees might have to go. Right, okay. I want to get as far back there as possible, but obviously the well, whichever machine I use, whether it's a baler or a loading wagon, that has to fit in here as well. Of course, yes, we do now own a silage pit. It does have some silage in it, but I can soon move that out of the way. So I haven't fully decided what I should do, but I really do think it would be a good idea to actually fill the pit. It saves paying a contractor to use a bale wrapper, or if I have to lease the bale wrapper, saves that expense. So really, it's just a case of getting a loading wagon or anything which can lift it up, anything to pick it up and get it into a trailer. That's all I really need. So it could just be a really cheap old forage harvester, one which is trailed. We'll see though, I'll have to decide in the future. I'm not going to lie, that was pretty difficult. It was very tight getting around the trees, so they are going to have to be ripped out if I do want to keep doing this field as grass like this. Obviously the other solution would be to have just a front mower with a loading wagon on the back and then just pick the grass up straight away. It would still be a bit tricky to get around the trees, but it wouldn't be anywhere near as difficult. So that is a potential solution, but it isn't really a very good solution. I don't like ripping trees out, but as I'm going to be putting a new forest in anyway, I think it's fine. I think I can justify getting rid of this this clump of trees to the left of us. Right, so that is that section all removed, or all cut, and now all I have to do is go back over to the other side of the trees and sort out the piece that I couldn't get to, but luckily it isn't a very large area, and because this mower is offset it does make it a bit easier. Probably be even more difficult if I had the butterfly mower. But yeah, that is almost finished. All finished. So as I said, the weather has taken a turn for the worst. It hasn't been great for the past few days, so this is just what I'm used to now. It just doesn't seem to stop raining. So let's just fold it up, and I can take it over to the yard. And I have to think about clearing up this dreaded fly tip. I don't know if I should tell the police. I think I should do. It's quite a tough one, really. Ooh, bricks. I think I went over those bricks. Yeah, I don't know if it's serious enough to tell the police about it, because it is just obviously a load of litter, which happens all the time, sadly. I don't want to waste the police time, although to be fair, PC Peter Plum doesn't exactly do a great deal anyway. He most of the time he just sits in his car, so I don't think it'd be too much for him to just to drive out here and take a look. I think I might tell them. Really, just so it's on their system, so they're aware of it in the area. Antisocial behaviour. And yeah, it's just not what you do in the countryside. Disgusting. Okay, so I'll take this back over to my main yard, and I will then, well, I think come back with a tractor and bucket and see if I can move anything. It is going to be quite tricky, I can imagine. But yeah, I mean, there's not a great deal I can do. Actually, what I could do is go over to Dennis's place and just speak to him quickly, see if he saw anything. Maybe he heard something. Could be a good idea. Unless it ends up being a big argument, as usual. So much for people coming to view. I don't know if that's what did it, but we'll see. So as I explained in the previous vlog, I can now reverse my mower into here with ease. It's much better than how it was before. The chickens do love to go underneath the mower and the tractor and stuff. Come on, chickens. It can move out of the way. Yeah, so this can go just here where it came from. And I will take the PTO off, detach that, and I don't think I'm going to be using the 390T again today. I'm pretty sure that's everything. Better turn the lights off, otherwise next time I get to it there'll be a flat battery. Yes, the New Holland tractor just over here. I do also have the Bale spike just there. I don't really know what to use. I guess either well, maybe a pallet fork actually. That could be a good thing to use. It's just not what I need today. Oh, actually, I forgot to tell you. For my breakfast, I had a boiled egg from my own chickens. Okay, maybe I should have a cut through. Yeah, it was very nice. Very good quality egg. And I think that's what I'm going to have for lunch and also for tea. And for breakfast tomorrow. And for lunch tomorrow. And you get the idea. Lots of eggs. It's going to all be very sulphury. Sulphur smelling at least. You get the idea. Let's move on. Okay, I have the pallet fork. I've had a bit of a think about this and I have now come up with a plan of action. Yes, I have thought about it very well. The first thing we're going to do is go over to the sheep to pick up their pallet of wool. The reason for this is because I think the price is pretty good at the moment. The wool merchant currently has a good price. I did speak to them, I think it was yesterday. I think I've got probably half a pallet, so it should still be a few £1,000s. That will then enable me to hopefully pay off the £5,000 mortgage, which I always have to pay. And also, hopefully I can put some money towards a grapple, which will be very useful for tidying up the mess. Really, it shouldn't be me doing it, but unfortunately the sad reality is usually it comes down to the landowners. So, yeah, anyway. If I can just get through this crowd of sheep. Try and pick it up. And then I'll drop by Dennis's place just to ask him. If he didn't hear anything, then I can't even be bothered to tell PC Peter Plum. He's not very good at what he does anyway, and also, if there's no evidence, then, yeah, there's not a great deal that can be done. Unless, of course, the fools who dumped it conveniently left their address somewhere in the litter. Which they probably did do, actually. Right, let's just close this gate. And I will head off to the wool merchant. Well, looking at the weather, I don't think we're going to get much more done with the silage today. Next time I should be able to get that done though. Looks like I'm just going to be wasting my time cleaning up litter. Anyway, here we are. Let's get it dropped off. Let's hope their price is still high. It certainly was yesterday. So I managed to get £6,095. Pretty good. So yeah, I've got almost £10,000 in the bank. 5,000 of that will be paid, I think, next time. I think it's in the next vlog. And then I need to, hopefully, today buy a grapple. Okay, Dennis's place. Here we go. Let's see if he's got anything useful to say to us. I somehow doubt it very much.
Hey, what are you doing back here?
Dennis, don't worry about that. I'm sure more land and farms will come up soon. I've got to ask you a serious question. Have you heard any noises coming from down the road? There's been a fly tip right in my entranceway.
Oh, really? Oh, that's brilliant.
Oh, very supportive of you.
I know. Yeah, go away.
How rude. I can't believe it. He's a weirdo. Sometimes he's really good, sometimes he's really friendly. Like that time when my farm flooded, he even allowed me to keep my equipment here in his car park. And then other times he just gets really funny. I think he just gets easily upset. He's upset because I managed to buy the farm and he didn't. So he'll calm down, I'm sure. He does seem to not really hold a grudge for too long, but when he has his grudge, it's pretty severe. Right, let's go and speak to them here and see if they can do me a good price on a grapple. They have done me a kind of good price on the grapple. It's brand new for £2,200. Only problem is I brought the pallet fork over here, so actually I don't want to have it here. I'm going to have to go and drop it off at the farm and then return to pick up the grapple. They are preparing it anyway, so I think they said it would be a few minutes. The only one they had in stock was an orange one, so I thought that was fine. Orange seems to be a good colour, so yeah, I haven't got a problem with orange. I guess blue would have been better, but oh well. At least it will stand out on the road. So this can go back in the shed. Need to mind that Bowser. And yes, that needs to be inspected as well. That fuel Bowser just there, the main tank. Should be okay just there. And now I can head back out again to pick up my new grapple. It is actually a fork grapple rather than a bucket grapple. Again, it's all they had, so I don't know if that's better or worse, really. I guess I could use it for the manure, which is going to be quite handy. I've just pulled over. I just want to show you something. This is my field of sunflowers, and as you can see, they've actually grown really well. Their little faces are looking up at the sky, just begging for some sunshine. It's like they all have their own personality, but no, they're just flowers. Okay, let's continue. I climbed over the barbed wire and it hurt. Right, they do have it ready. I can see it just there. They've not really put it in a very accessible place, which is kind of annoying. But I should still be able to fit to it. There we go. Looking very good. Yes, it's a Stoll, which is the same manufacturer as the front loader itself, so that's why the compatibility is perfect. And yeah, obviously it's brand new. It has been in the workshop for a little bit, but yeah, never used. So it's going to be interesting to use it for the first time. I look forward to this. Shame it's not going to be on something a bit more interesting. It's just going to be a pile of scrap. Having said this, my pile of scrap is potentially going to be worth a bit of money, providing the drums aren't all full of some kind of hazardous waste. And also I'm going to be blocking the road a bit, so hopefully... Actually, I should have told the police, because then they can do traffic control, but then again, it isn't a very busy road. So I'm going to park here, run and get my other tractor, bring the trailer, and then hopefully load it up. I have actually opted to go for the Hilux and the flatbed trailer, just because it might be easier to transport these drums. I don't really as well want to put contaminated drums inside the grain trailer, because that is obviously for grain and other materials which are used for purposes which really shouldn't involve oil. So yeah, I'm just going to have to park this over to the side, and I'm going to have to try and manoeuvre around the traffic, which shouldn't be too difficult. Okay, that will do. And maybe I should put the hazards on just in case. That way there's no reason why anybody can't see me. Although the lights on the Hilux aren't that bright, but the trailers are very bright, so that's fine. Okay, back into the tractor. And I have... Well, I want the drums. I think the tyres are going to have to stay here for now, but the drums I do need to pick up. Because obviously they're worth something in scrap. Oh great, a procession. I managed to pick rush hour. Always the same. If you want to do something, it always ends up being rush hour. I might just have to block the road a bit. Obviously I couldn't lift it by hand, but this should be able to lift it without any problems at all. Once I've got it wedged. Okay. And then just very simply transport it across and dump it on the trailer. Oh. Yeah. The lack of space is troublesome. And when the traffic don't slow down, it makes it even worse. I think I should put my hazards on too. Just to play it safe. Okay. So yeah, they just need to be in the trailer. It doesn't really matter how neat they are. It's good enough. This may take a while. I'm really just picking out the good stuff. The rest of it is going to have to somehow go to the landfill.
But I'm your liability.
Okay, so I've just got the GoPro mounted on the side window for a bit of a different angle. And yes, I have caused an absolute backlog of vehicles. For some reason only in one direction. I guess it's because I've been more on that side. But before I can load this up, I'm just going to have to let everybody go. So yeah, that's quite a lot of angry motorists. Yeah, that's it after the red car. Good. And this is the final drum. I do have more drums in the yard, like I say, so I'll probably take them to the scrapyard next time. This isn't going just yet, because I do probably want to report it to the police still. They can take a look at these drums, but I just have to make a start at moving these things. So how many is that? How many drums have I just put there? 3, 6, 8. Good grief. Most of them are empty. In fact, all of them except for one. One of them has waste oil in it, so I think the scrapyard will still take it, but they're going to have to obviously separate it from the rest of it. The tyres, just disgusting. I don't know what to do with them. There's not much you can do. And the rest of it's just a bit of, well, it's a bit of timber and some kind of garden waste. Oh, and some kind of plastic as well. So what I'm going to do is take my tractor back, and then I'm going to take my Hilux back to the yard as well. I'll load some more stuff on it for next time, and then we'll probably have another trip over to the scrapyard. They did seem to be fairly nice people, so yeah, I think it's nice to go back to the place in Sussex. It was good, and they gave me some fair prices too. Also, before I do scrap it, I think it would be wise to clear it with the police, as you never know, some weird raw might say that I'm stealing it, despite it being dumped in my driveway. So yeah, I'll get everything done officially. That'd be a wise idea. So much traffic. I'm sure this road is busier today than it ever has been. Oh, I should probably actually pick those tyres up. Wait, this is dangerous. Just get them pushed to the side. Okay, right, we are ready to go. I think I'm going to have to put it in my main yard, because I can't really access this yard without going all the way around, which I don't really want to do. Okay, so I'll pull over here, and that can stay there until next time. So that is it. unfortunately. Look, I've got more drums here which I could actually scrap. Yeah, bit of a sad day. Anyway, until next time, see you again very soon.